Well, Big Ten season and road games in December have not been
Right.
kind to you in the conference
Right.
situation. Every year's different and all that. But
Yeah.
how do you clear that hurdle this year?
Yeah, it's a little ironic, for us, just because like you have a lot of here in the last 5 years, a lot of big games around them, and we've played well in those games, but then we haven't played well in that first road game in the Big Ten. So, I don't think it's anything major outside of just, if you looked at like a Christmas break and you were always bad after Christmas break because they're games in succession. So like when you look at your games and you go Memphis, Texas Tech, Eastern Illinois, Rutgers, Iowa State, Minnesota, Iowa State, Auburn. Like, why is it the conference game? Because Texas Tech is really good, and Iowa State, Marquette, Minnesota, and so it is something we discuss, though, just in terms of, but you can't like put your finger on it and say, hey, in all these games we've shot poor free throws. In all these games our transition D stunk. It's just been one. I think the road brings a different element. I think conference play can sometimes bring a different element. I don't know if it fits here. So, just do your job and play well. I think for us, we have to consistently rebound. I think you see the difference from team to team and the fact that, when we rebound the basketball well, we execute offensively, we're going to put ourselves in a good spot.
The turnovers seem to pop up in these,
Yeah.
popped up before in these
Yeah,
games.
they have, but I think that's going to be a common denominator with losses, period. It's just the possession war. Like people say, hey, like in these games you've done well, in these games you haven't. And it's not something that, you leave out. It's not something you say, hey, this game we're not going to talk about taking care of the ball. You're always working on taking care of the basketball. That's why, like, going to Kentucky, playing in Alabama, you hope like that helps you. I think playing at Kentucky helped us in the Alabama game. I know it did. Now that's got to help us here, right? Take care of the basketball and make good decisions. But it's also going to be a really good environment. Like, it's a tough, loud, boxed-in environment. I love it. It's a really good home court advantage for them.
This is probably more of a traditional Rutgers team that last year he went out and got some Lamborghinis, and does this seem kind of more like the Rutgers teams that doesn't have those high-end guys but balance tough defense?
Yeah, I mean they really got challenged in Las Vegas in their tournament, and but yeah, they've always been. Obviously, he was one of Jim Calhoun's assistants, and you can see those fingerprints on his program in terms of the rebounding and the defense and the toughness. And so you're going to have to match that. I think that's what's important. When you face somebody that has that kind of identity, you got to match that toughness. And it's not just always physical toughness, too. It's that mental toughness of being able to play, in a tough environment.
A lot of experience. Trey, Braden, Fletcher, all prideful. I'm sure they've always wanted to win every Big Ten, but they didn't win it for the first time last year. Does that drive them even more to go out winning their conference?
Sure, and it's also to understand how long of a season it is, for the fact that you're going to be in the first week of December fighting like hell to hopefully be 2-0 after playing 2 games, and then it's not going to get decided until the end of the first week of March, right? So it's a long time, but you can win or lose that Big Ten championship right now. And it's important. So the guys that have been through it before, like they understand that. And it doesn't mean you don't have shortcomings, because everybody does, but it's important to get off to a good start.
I mean, Daniel, 19 straight field goals. I mean, how significant is that for any player to not miss for three plus games?
Yeah, and I think there's probably like 4 post moves in there. So you got there's still 4 post. I was actually being positive. So it's not 19 dunks. Right. It's just 15. But he still has 4 post moves, and that's what we get excited about. That him, wanting the ball, demanding the ball, and we need to get the ball to him more. I mean, rightfully so. It doesn't mean because you go 19 for 19, you should get the basketball. But you're obviously taking shots you can make, right? Like sometimes guys will shoot a high percentage, and then they just think, oh, I can just take any other shot. Now they start taking shots that have nothing to do with that 19. And like, no, that's not the, be purposeful. And our guys have done a good job of getting into the ball and keeping the ball high on lobs. And, that lob threat keeps, people don't understand when they take it away, it gives us space. Because now they're going back with him, and now the guy with the ball can drive the basketball deeper. He has more room to play, and those things really help. So it's not just the benefit of him catching those lobs and getting dunks. It's also them taking that away and then helping the efficiency of our offense.
You guys have a lot of offensively skilled guys. There's only one basketball, but how much is just Jack comes in, he's a good passer, Jakari's a good passer. Everyone's just a willing good passer.
Right.
How does that kind of just like satisfy your team?
Yeah, well, I think it also starts with your best players, the guys that have the highest usage. And so our 3 highest usage guys are all unselfish players. Braden's a good passer. Fletch is a good passer. TK is a good passer. So when it starts with those guys, and now things get contagious. But Jack Benner gives us a different look. Like, he gives us a different look, kind of a point forward type guy. He was a point guard in high school, and so that really helps us. And then it kind of keeps everybody else from a spacing standpoint or a size standpoint where they're supposed to be, because now they don't have to overdo things or play make when they're not playmakers. So we went from really having just one guy. Omer really helps that cause. Fletch is really good at moving the basketball, making the right decision. TK's good at being a playmaker. So it gives us more than one playmaker, even though, like, Braden's still going to have the highest usage.
We have Liam tomorrow night.
I think so, yeah. He practiced the other day, so if he goes today, he'll be able to play. So
You tinkered with Jack at the 5. I don't know if that was because of the situation against Eastern Illinois a little bit.
it was situational.
Okay. You're going to say, is that just something to deep in your pocket if
No.
it ever gets to that point?
No. We'll end on that.